Hello everyone, how are the things? I hope everything is fine. So students, as you know, we are discussing our chapter 2 from the book Behind. The name of the part 1 we are discussing is The Sound of Music. It's a very interesting, very motivational story, an inspiring one for all of us. And first of all, let us know something about our main character of this story. Her name is Evelyn Glennie. In short, we can say Evelyn Glennie. Her full name is Dame Evelyn Elizabeth Ann Glennie. In the chapter, it's mentioned that Evelyn Glennie. She was born on 19 July 1965. She is a Scottish virtuoso. Virtuoso is a person who is perfect in music or in any artistic skill. So that person is called virtuoso. She is a musician. She is a well-renowned, famous musician of the world. And she is multi-percussionist. She can play so many percussion instruments. What is percussion? We will discuss it later. So this chapter especially is an extract taken from her autobiography, and the name of her biography is Good Vibration. She wrote a book about herself because her life story is really very amazing, kind of inspirational for us. That is why she wrote a book, and the book is like a bestseller, and the name of the book is Good Vibration. This also you can guess why she named her book as Good Vibration, because vibration means a lot or everything for her. Vibration is just like her life. So let's discuss our today's one chapter. So let's start our today's discussion. Yesterday we have discussed that how Evelyn's mother come to know that Evelyn was partially impaired at the age of 8, when she come to know that she was not able to hear perfectly. Something was wrong there that time, and this all thing happened in a piano class when piano teacher called her name again and again, and Evelyn was not able to listen or hear her name properly. So her mother comes through something is wrong with her, and later this all happened at the age of 8. So at the age of 11, Evelyn was profoundly impaired. She was not able to listen or hear anything, and it was a disastrous moment, we can say, for Evelyn, because her dream was to become a musician, and you cannot picture a musician who cannot listen, and it was really very tough task for her, because the thing which she want to achieve, the goal which she want to fulfill, was really next to impossible for her, because music, always we feel the music with the help of our ear. You can close your eyes, but you cannot close your ear. You cannot close your ears while listening to song or while listening to any musical thing. And Evelyn was trying to create or compose her own music, and she was not able to listen anything. So her whole world was like shattered. Everything was in vain. So when doctor declared that Evelyn was partially, profoundly impaired, now she would not be able to hear anything in her life. Her nerve was totally damaged. That time it was like a big shock on Evelyn's heart. Her whole life was wrecked, her dreams demolished, and it was like end of the world for her. So you all can assume yourself there that a girl of 11, full of dreams she was, so many dreams she has in her mind, so many goals she already set for her, and suddenly she comes to know that she would not be able to hear anything in her life. So it was really a very big shock for anyone can be. But for a moment, her dream, her life, everything was lost for her. But the next moment, she took a firm decision. She made up her mind, and she said to herself that now I will not sit in the corner of my room and I have to achieve whatever I thought and what are my dreams. I have to fulfill all those. So she was not in the mood to give up or to surrender. She took the decision and it was firm, it was determined in her mind. So once again she was full of excitement, she was full of exhilarating thoughts, and so once again she was in the mood to fulfill all those dreams, all those things but she has already set in her mind. So let's start our today's discussion. But Evelyn was not going to give up. She was not going to surrender. She was determined to lead a normal life and pursue her interest in music. One day, she noticed a girl playing a xylophone and decided that she wanted to play it too. So one day, she saw a girl and the girl was playing xylophone. At that time, when she saw the xylophone, she was so curious to know about it, that what is xylophone, how to play it. And let's see what is xylophone. Xylophone, the look of xylophone is like this. Xylophone is made of wood and it is made of the 7 wood stripes, and you need another one instrument to play this, and these all 7 wood plates are set on the different notes, and the sound of the xylophone is just like the piano sound, or maybe you have heard the jal tarang, and in that we are using so many bowls full of water and the sound is so soothing for us, so pleasant sound it creates, and xylophone is just similar to that jal tarang. And xylophone, it's a Greek word, and here xylo means wood and the phone means sound. The wood that creates a musical sound. So this instrument she saw once, and this instrument was played by a girl. So when she saw that girl was playing xylophone, she was so curious to know about what is this, and she made up her mind. She decided, she thought that now I also want to learn this xylophone. But what happened next? Most of the teachers discouraged her, but percussionist Ron Forbes. So we have one more character here. It's the name of the person is Ron Forbes. So Evelyn Glennie was in the mood to learn how to play xylophone. She went to so many teachers to learn xylophone, but all those teachers denied, they all discouraged her, they all refused to teach her how to play xylophone, because the only thing they all said to Evelyn, that you cannot hear and it's not possible that you will be able to learn this xylophone. But one percussionist was there in the academy, was there in the school, Ron Forbes. Ron Forbes, he saw Evelyn, and what he did, he spotted her potential. He saw that something special is in Evelyn, and he got to know that Evelyn can do better and better in her life, and definitely she would be able to learn xylophone. So he began by tuning 2 large drums to different notes, and don't listen through your ears. He said to Evelyn, don't listen through your ears. Don't use your ears to listen. But of course she was not able to use her ears to listen because she was deaf. So he would say, try to sense it some other way. So Evelyn, till that moment, she was always trying to listen through her ears. She was trying to hear everything by using her ears, and it was not possible for her. So he showed her a different way to hear or feel the music. He said, try to feel the music. You can do it, needs just practice and practice more and more, but at the end of the day you will be able to listen or hear or feel the music. Try to focus on that part. And he showed her a different way, off track it was, we can say. And he said, suddenly I realized I could feel the higher drum from the waist up and the lower one drum from the waist down. So after a long time of practice, Evelyn was able to feel the vibration of the music. So how this all thing episode happened to her, that finally a deaf girl was able to feel the vibration of the music. So students, you see we have a drum here, and you can see it's a drum, and we are using these sticks to play it. And you can see that we have some screws here. Maybe you have noticed sometime. So many screws are there, and with these, by using these screws, we can tighten up this drum. So when you will tight all these screws, the sound of this drum would be on higher note. And if you will loosen these screws, the sound of this drum would be on the lower note. So the lower note and the higher note. And if you will play, you will feel the difference between both the notes, the lower note and the higher note. It's like the lower sa of the music and the higher sa of the music. Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa. So he took two drums. The Ron Forbes. He took two drums, and one drum he set on the lower note. It was the sound of the drum was on the lower, was very low, and another drum he took, and the sound of that drum was on the higher note. And Ron Forbes, he was a percussionist. So let's discuss who is percussionist. Percussionist is a musician who can play the percussion instrument. So you can divide the instruments of the music into two categories. One is the musical one, and second one is the percussion instrument. So percussion instrument are like a musical instrument which we are playing by using the another instrument like drum, like this type of sticks we are using to play those instruments. And these instruments are played by striking the another one instrument on this. Just like to play a drum, we are using these sticks to play. We are striking this drum with these sticks, so it will create sound. And xylophone is also a percussion instrument. We are using these sticks, soft sticks, to play these all wooden bands. So these two are the percussion instrument, and I have written some more names for you. The percussion instrument: drum, shear drum, electronic, bongo, chongo, tabla, dholak, pakhawaj. These are Indian one musical instrument. So these all are percussion instrument, and the person who can play perfectly the percussion instrument is called the percussionist. Ron Forbes was a percussionist. So he was a skilled percussionist, and he spotted Evelyn's potential, and he invented this creative idea to teach Evelyn music. And this idea really worked for her. After a long practice, after so many days, finally, this all thing not happened in a day. After so many days, eventually, Evelyn was able to feel the music. She was not able to hear, she was able to feel the vibration of the music. And how it happened, we have already read. And finally, what was the sensation, what was the feeling of Evelyn? She said, I realized that I could feel the higher drum, the higher note of the drum from the waist up, and the lower one from the waist down. And Forbes repeated the exercise, and soon Evelyn discovered that she could sense certain notes in different parts of the body. So first of all, she felt the sensation. So first of all, she felt the sensation, the waist up and the waist down. She recognized this thing, that the higher drum, the higher note of the music, she was able to feel the waist up, and the lower note she was able to feel the waist down. But later on, after more and more practice, she felt this thing, that she was able to feel the single note of the music from the different part of her body. She said, I had learned to open my mind and body. So finally, when she got the feeling, it was really so exciting, so amazing, so charming for her. It was like a so pleasant feeling for her. And she said, afterward, when I got this feeling, I opened my heart, I opened my mind, and she said, the sounds and vibration, I opened my full body for all those sounds and vibrations. The rest was sheer determination, the rest was sheer, the total, the absolute, the perfect determination was left, and the only thing was left only, it was hard work. So finally she achieved that thing that was out of the box for everyone, that was off track for everyone. She was now able to hear the music, and after here she was now able to compose the music. She never looked back from that point onwards. So we can say it was, of course, it was really true that why she would now look back. By the time she was 16, she had decided to make music her life. So she joined an orchestra, and she went to so many other countries to perform, to give the concerts, and finally at the age of 16, when she noticed this thing that music is everything for me, and now I will not leave music ever and ever in my life. So she made up her mind, she fixed this thing that now I will be a musician, I want to become a famous musician of the world. So she never looked back afterwards. Then she auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music and scored one of the highest marks in the history of the academy. So to become a musician, she applied, she gave the audition in the Royal Academy of Music. Royal Academy of Music, it is in the London, situated in the London, and it is the same one place where Evelyn is going and while standing on the platform, that in the scene we have read at the very first text of the chapter, the very first line, where she was going to the Royal Academy of Music to London. So she applied for that, she gave audition, and what miraculous thing happened there, that she scored the highest marks in the history of the academy. So students, you cannot assume, you can just look this thing, that a girl who achieved the highest mark of that academy in the history of the academy, who it was a deaf girl, the person who can hear and listen the music very well, very perfectly, that all those persons were behind from her, and she was on the top of the record of the academy. So it was really amazing, we can say. It shows that how profoundly she was attached, her soul, her mind, body, everything was deeply submerged in the music. She gradually moved from orchestral work to solo performances. So while performing days after days, years after years, finally time has come when she made up her mind, and she tried to perform solo on the stage, and she started to give the solo performances. At the end of her 3-year course, she had captured most of the top awards of that academy. So she was renowned, she was the famous musician of that academy. Slow by slow, the whole world was acquainted with her. She was a famous face for everyone, and she catch so many awards of that year, of that academy also. And for all this, Evelyn won't accept any hint of heroic achievement. So after reading all these things, you all may be thinking that what an amazing girl she is, how creative, how wonderful she is. But she said that all these things doesn't need any kind of heroic achievement. She said, I don't admire all these things. Whatever I have done, it's just hard work. So she said, nothing legendary I have done in my life. It's just sheer, total, absolute hard work. But she's saying about herself, if you work hard and know where you are going, you will get there. So this line said by Evelyn is really remarkable for everyone, because she said if you work hard and know where you are going. So sometimes we are really working hard on a thing or project, and at the end of the day we come to know that it was nothing for you, it was not worth for you. So clearly she is saying that if you are working hard on a thing and literally exactly it's clear to you that where you are going, it's the right way, right path for you, she is saying that you will get there. So nothing can stop you, nobody in this world can stop you. You will be there one day of your life. You will get there, you will get whatever you want to. So she said, and she got right to the top. And she got right to the top, the world's most sought after multi-percussionist with a mastery of some thousands instruments. So student, thousands of instruments she is able to play now, and hectic international schedule. Hectic international schedule, she don't have time to waste. Her whole year is usually busy while attending seminars and while attending concerts and performing on the stage. So the whole year is busy for her. So you assume in your mind what happened to her at the age of 11. Everything was finished. Her life was like finished for her. And with sheer total hard work, determination, iron will, now what is her routine? What is her life? That she is a well-renowned face and she is a Scottish virtuoso. Her name, her biography we are reading here now. We have a chapter here in our book. So you can assume very well and you can learn this lesson that whatever you want to achieve in life, whatever are your goals, your dreams, you can aspire everything, you can achieve everything. Just you need a single thing in your life, just your determination, your hard work. So students, let's finish up our chapter here. We have finished till paragraph number 5. Rest of the chapter we will continue in our next lecture. Till then, stay safe inside, take care of yourself. Thank you.